Thank you so much. It's great to be here at PitchBreakfast. This is an awesome gathering, so thank you for having me. So I'm here to talk to you about something important. I'm here to talk to you about protecting what matters most to you, your family, your assets, and your legacy. My name is Rickard Steiber. I'm the founder of GoodTrust, and GoodTrust is essentially all about protecting your estate planning and your family. So I came over to the US. I'm a Swedish tech executive. I came over with Google 15 years ago. And since then, I've been launching streaming music services, streaming video services, virtual reality, esports, always been in tech, launching global services. And then in 2020, my father passed away. And I discovered that in America, everyone needs a will or a trust. Turns out that people don't have this. But even if you do, your loved ones won't find all of your digital stuff, your online accounts, your documents, access to your devices. So I set out to fix this problem. And the problem is really, really big. So today, 200 Americans say that they want to have a will or a trust. Turns out that 175 million of them don't have anything. And what's even worse is that when I lost my father, is that finding all of those online accounts, financial accounts, social media accounts, photo accounts, it turns out there are 30 million dead people on Facebook sending awkward birthday reminders. This is a problem that is not solved. So we set out to solve this. So with GoodTrust, what you can do is that online you can create your will, your trust, your financial power of attorney, advanced healthcare directive, funeral directive, pet directive, all of these documents. We have created over 50,000 estate plans. I have over 750,000 members on our platform. So it's a very well-established platform. Most people create their will in 15 minutes, and it's really, really easy to use. The unique thing with GoodTrust, it also captures your digital assets, your online accounts, your documents, and your devices. So if I am your brother, for example, I might share things within the family, but only when I pass away will you have access to my will, my life insurance, my bitcoins, my startup investments. So you have this differential sharing. So that's kind of the core of the service. We go to market with leading brands that you already love and trust. So large banks, insurance companies, financial institutions, we become an embedded benefit. So if you get your life insurance from Prudential, you can also get GoodTrust as an embedded benefit. So we provide software as a service. So they will pay us a small fee for every policy holder they have per month. So it's a software as a service business. We had great traction. We have a master agreement with Prudential. So when they launch life insurance, you get GoodTrust as an embedded benefit. We partner with Nationwide and Beam Benefits, so it's an employee benefit. Financial wellness is becoming increasingly important. With the exclusive partner to America Online, they have 1.2 million paying members, seniors, who also get estate planning from GoodTrust. We're part of the ARP loyalty program, and we want to continue this traction. But it's not just these businesses. Also, consumers love GoodTrust. We're the only 5-star rated service on NerdWallet, who compares us with our competitors like Trust and Will, LegalZoom. And it's primarily because it's an easy-to-use service. It's always a family plan. So if you sign up, you can add your partner, your parents, your grown kids. We have a digital vault, which no one else have. And also we provide a lot of great content. People are generally clueless on, what's an advanced healthcare directive? When do I need a power of attorney? Will versus trust. So we provide that snackable content to you. Most people think that estate planning is when you get old. Turns out that my daughter went to college, and I realized that if she's in a car accident, I can't access her healthcare information. I can't make decisions on her behalf anymore. So you need these documents in all these life moments. College, get married, get kid, start a business, your parents get older, maybe someone passes away. And all these moments have not just an estate planning moment, but they also have an insurance moment. They have a banking moment. So that's why we have a great partnership. So it's a $35 billion market, and that's just the lawyers. This industry is going to get transformed with tech and AI, and I think that we are positioned to take care of this. Besides myself, I've been in tech my entire life. I have Robin Zeckler, who's been in the estate planning industry for a long time. And then Marcus, who's my CTO. We've been working and building services around the world for a long time. We're doing a $3 million seed raise. We have investment from RevTech Labs, and we're hoping to get more investors here in Charlotte. But my lead investor, Khosla Ventures, that probably some of you heard, are doing the pro rata. We also have ARP who invested, and we would welcome some of you as well. We're going to use the money to expand, but also to launch a new AI service where you can get estate planning coaching, but also introduce you to financial service and insurance. When you do your will, you start thinking about protecting your family. We would use that opportunity to also introduce online insurance. So in summary, GoodTrust, all about smart estate planning, solving that problem for 175 million Americans, but it's the same thing around the world. You have a smart digital vault taking care of your online life, and then we go to market with brands that you already love and trust. So thank you very much. And before, we're also going to give all of you a free GoodTrust account. So with that, thank you very much for your time. All right.
Great job. I mean this in the nicest way. So to me, this is a difference between someone who lives in Silicon Valley all the time, who's probably surrounded by startup ecosystem that enforces how to tell a story. Obviously, you're a little farther along. You've got 50,000 people who've used it. You're backed by a tier 1 venture capital firm. But I mean, overall, there's very little to pick apart here, right? I think told the story very clearly, helped me set up exactly the problem that's being solved, walked me through the solution. I think I totally, even though I have a relatively detailed estate plan, I looked at it and thought, oh yeah, I never really thought about my pets. I didn't put those in there, right? Or my daughter who's going to go off to college, or I didn't contemplate several of the life moments in there where we might want to add another directive or something in there. And that's expensive every time you call up the lawyer and ask them to do something. So, I mean, I think overall is pretty straightforward. I like the fact that also with your ask, it was very clear of exactly how you were going to use the funds. I'd say the only thing that was missing a little for me was it wasn't clear the difference between what you're doing in a tradition, like if I go to an estate planner, right? So there's not quite exactly like this is what you get from a lawyer or an estate planner, and this is what you get from us. And my guess is one of the biggest differences is the cost. I have to believe that's true, right?
Can I comment very quickly?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So it turns out that the normal procedure, you book a time with a lawyer, you'll drive over there, you sit with their assistant, and then they'll do a draft and they send it off, and you go back to them and they'll review it with you. And so it's like a 3-month process and it costs you, hundreds or thousands of dollars. If you come from NerdWallet and you see us, you can essentially do the same thing online at your own convenience in your home. Most people do a will in 15 minutes. It will cost you and your entire family $150 the first year, and then $39 the next year. So it's much more affordable, but we actually want to make it available to everyone. So that's why we partner with these other brands that will essentially give it to their employees or give it to their members, etc. So I can add 1 million estate plans for 1 million families tomorrow and not blink, and it doesn't really, the marginal cost is like 0. So it's all technology. So it's the same thing, besides that we're in the trust business, which means that you trust maybe your lawyer, maybe sometimes. So it's really building that trustful relationship online is a challenge. But besides, it's essentially the same thing, but all of those digital accounts. So what happened was that when my father died, also COVID hit, and a good friend died in COVID. His wife reached out to me and said, hey, listen, Adam passed away. He was the photo guy in the family. All the photos of him and us and the kids are in his phone. We can't get access to it. I knew the guy at Google who ran Google Photos. Turns out that I thought I was just going to sort it. 4 months later, lots of lawyers. The lawyer actually asked him or her, can you prove that he wanted you to have the photos of you and him and the kids? Can you prove that he wanted that? And so it's really difficult. So in our will, we also make sure that you can prove that. So the wills are a little bit more explicit for digital extraction.
One last question on that. Is there either a asset point or a complexity point where you guys sort of don't play. What I mean by that is, are you setting up trusts? Are you transferring things into trust names? Are you I guess how advanced can you get in that? Is it someone like, look, if you're 20 million or above, you probably should get a lawyer and do all these other things? Or is there a clear break point where GoodTrust is like not comprehensive enough, or does it really stretch the whole gamut?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're not a law firm, so we don't give legal advice. So anyone who actually asked us question, we would always suggest that they should talk to a lawyer. And I think there are tax consequences, there are other things where you may need, go beyond articles. That's why we like the AI, because typically the AI can be a much more interactive tool rather than reading these articles that we have today. But I would say that if you have a ton of money, and then or having a wealth manager, you should probably talk to someone. But what I found is that, I had a very successful career. That power of attorney and advanced healthcare for my daughter who went to college. Did I want to call my lawyer and sit with him and pay him like $800 to that? I can go online and then in 50 minutes, click, 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 I have those. So even if you have money, the vault and this, it's a nice complementary service, I would say.
I know that you got in late last night, and then you were very opportunistic because, right, as of early.
Like last night, why don't you come tomorrow morning? And I was like, yes, let's do it.
So another lesson from entrepreneurship is, right, always be prepared, right? Luck needing preparation, right? It's that opportunity. So there's something to that extent. This hits home for me as well. I lived these pain points intimately earlier this year with family members, and so this really connects. The digital component of it is a challenge. And I think some of the institutional ways that we're accustomed to solving for this, when they're in those attorneys' offices, are not necessarily leaning tech forward to solve for the way that we live now. So that really resonates. This pain point really resonates. And in fact, I would think that some of these tech enablers would also have a stake or potentially be interested in this, because if the value of that technology, that digital currency or asset, or just a photo that's important family memory, so that may be another source of capital or strategic involved in this. I have a suspicion, and I don't know, but you mentioned a pretty substantial number that are staying out of having their wills completed. And I think that facing mortality is just something that is a natural human tendency to avoid. And this tech enabler, I think, gives some sort of infrastructure or facade there that it's not as intimidating as maybe making an appointment with an attorney because I'm thinking about what happens when I'm not here. It's just as comfortable as going on to LegalZoom and I'm thinking about an LLC. Right? It can be, you can make it a little bit more commonplace. So I think you're solving a huge pain point, but I think that the addressable audience and even tapping into that, there may be some sort of marketing opportunity to unlock additional dollars there.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. What I find, I was a little bit naive. I was like a tech guy, I'm not a estate planning guy, but I found what I've learned is that you have these moments in time. Let's say that you get your first kid. And you're wondering, oh, what do I need to do? And then you realize that you need to assign a guardian for your kid, because if something happens to the parents, who's going to take care? You might think it's your grandfather. That's not the case. It's a little bit more complicated. So you have these life moments when you get your kid, you get married. That's when we need to tap. So we make partnerships with. That's why the insurance company and bank but also like divorce. If you get divorced, do you want your partner to be as prominent in your will? No, you don't. So we partner with divorce.com, and then also in that life moment. But I found that the banks and insurance companies capture these life moments pretty well. So if we can have them tell our story for us and give us their customers at no customer acquisition cost. Also the family plan that we have. So if you sign up, for example, you'll add your partner, your parent, your kids. You're kind of marketing GoodTrust to your family. So that's why we had 750,000 users on our platform, because other people tell our story.
Which is substantial, and the name alone is strong and comforting and lends itself to that activity. Do you have any direct competitors in the space aside from, I can go to LegalZoom, I can get a portion of this. Is there anyone else doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say that our biggest competitor is this company called Trust and Will. You have LegalZoom, but they like do everything from a LLC to everything. There's some online will makers, but there are like a handful of them. But I would say I've been doing this for 5 years now. The big challenge is like doing nothing, and the lawyers who still have this. People are not really aware, I would say. So that's why it's so important to kind of get the word out and have other companies with larger brands to kind of tell the story for us. So it's really 175 million people out of 200 million who wants it. So like we're just scratching the surface. And it's the same thing in Sweden, Germany, China, India. So the world is really the market here.
Yeah. So you mentioned a SaaS fee. I mean, my understanding here would be you'd go in, you'd create the documents, you'd print them, you put them in your safe, all that kind of stuff. Because again, now you have another digital thing I need to find out, what the directive was. So is a SaaS fee just to store what was put in there before for simplicity?
Let me explain. So let's say that we just made an agreement with a large insurance company. They have 500,000 policyholders. They want to add GoodTrust as a differentiating benefit to their insurance. So they will pay us, in this case, 20 to 40 cents per month per policyholder. So if you have 20 cents times 500,000, it's $100,000 per month, monthly recurring revenue. So that's kind of what we're going after. If you sign up as an individual consumer, which you can do, you pay 149 for the first year and then 39 for the next year for you and your entire family to be able to update any document, use the vault. So that's the small fee. So we actually don't do any marketing, but we grow direct to consumer because we are rated on NerdWallet and these other sites. So our main focus is partnering with brands. Okay.
Chris wants to see.
I just want one more.
Okay, one more.
So if I already have an estate, so imagine that I already have an estate plan. So I did the whole talk to my lawyer, what should I be doing? And then there's how often should I update it? Do you have a service where I can scan in my current ones so that it's like pre-populated and then I can just do
Exactly. So what you would do is that you would, you make it a PDF, you would share it with your family, and then maybe me as your brother, I don't need your will now, but if I mention it, maybe something happens, you want me to have a copy of that. In addition to all of your startup investments in Bitcoins, I would like those as well.
All right, with that, let's give it up for
Thank you so much.